From
It's
from outsider of Africa,
Mm-hmm.
if you put Muhammad or Elizabeth, it's very easy to recognize your community.
yes.
Like
Mm-hmm.
because if your name is Elizabeth, it means you are Christian. Then Fatu,
Mm-hmm.
we
Oh,
can recognize you are Muslim. So we can change the greeting, or we can
mhm.
know
Ah,
the, how can I say, we can
yeah.
respect the
I
regional.
think back home we try to make a differentiation because like you mentioned, you have Christian names, you have Muslim names, and from that we know which religion you are. So it's very hard to see an Elizabeth and you're like, okay, you're Muslim. So like yeah, so that's why names have a great meaning for to a person, I guess. It differentiates your religion. Also your tribe, same as Mawa. We have different like maybe 7, 8 tribes in the Gambia, and each tribe can relate to a particular name that comes from the tribe.
Some sort of compromise. So
Mm.
I'll give you an example, and I've had this from a friend and also from a different show. So
Mhm.
the tribes, of course, whose names when they say them, those names mean something different in your tribe, perhaps something that is not good.
Oh.
Mm.
Right? So there's some new nuances that are not good. So when this person tells you their name, you're like, oh, okay, that means something different in my tribe. So you find that a person from tribe A and tribe B get together and they have kids. And if tribe B has those names that sometimes whose meanings in your tribe or language are not good.
Mhm.
So you have to come to a compromise where you give the child more or less some sort of a neutral name or a name that is not
Mm.
falling completely on one side. So
Mm.
that is
See.
what. So now the way of naming and even the thought process has changed because of intermarriages.
Mm.
Yeah,
I see.
the people whose names have a certain pattern, a certain flow, but you find
Mm.
that that flow means something else in maybe the wife you've married or the husband you've married. So you guys
Mhm.
have to rethink the names.
Yeah.
And then in other cases, of course, you'll still have the paternal side names, but a bit different. Then in some cases, the children are given two names from two tribes.
I
Oh,
see.
like
Yeah.
Congo.
Like, for example, if my
I
dad is
think.
from the West
Mhm.
and then my mom says from the North, perhaps I'd be called Akelo Elizabeth Murungi,
Mm.
something like that. So if people see me, they'll be like, huh? These are both your names, so we can't exactly trace you because you belong to two regions, right? But that is
Mm.
some sort of new trend that's happening currently in Uganda. Yeah.
Mm. We
Yeah.
Japanese has less tribe, so we don't have such a difficulties.
It doesn't.
Maybe
It
for
makes things
we can
easy.
recognize Okinawa
Yes.
people because
Mhm.
the family name is very special. But the
Oh,
Okay.
others is very difficult.
I see.
Mm.
How
Interesting.
special are their names?
Yeah. We also have something a bit awkward. I don't know if you have it in other in your countries. If you have multiple pregnancies and for some reason your child passed away or
Mhm.
you suffered miscarriages and
Mhm.
then a child survived,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
You are going to name that child the ugliest name you can find.
Oh,
It
see.
can even mean a curse word,
My goodness.
Eh,
right? And
Whoa.
because the entire concept is you name it something random. There was this girl after graduation, and I was doing my housemanship, and
Mm.
her name literally translated to the window.
eh,
The window. She was called the Shubak, the window. And she's such a beautiful girl. And she
Oh.
loved her name. If you if you called her window, she would be no, put the down. It's
The window.
it's all the window. And her mom named her like this, like named her that name because she believed that if she named the child the most ridiculous name ever, it would protect her from evil eye, and she will live
Ah,
long.
I
So
see.
because you want to protect them, so they
Mhm.
can't survive, you choose something so ridiculous, something so stupid,
A
and
window.
even a curse word. And,
Mm.
you can't do this to your child.
No, you can't.
You can't name your child such a ridiculous name. And now I have to go through life calling myself Window.
Yeah,
It's just
that's
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
It's just ridiculous. So we have that. I don't know if you have it in your countries.
What we have is special names for like twins,
Oh,
special names for twins. Every region and perhaps every tribe has special names for twins. So there's a special name for the eldest twin and the youngest twin. There are just very many variations, but there's also the name for the person who comes after the twins. And then also, in some cases, the person who comes before the twins might be renamed because they should also have a special name.
Rename?
Yeah, I mean, if Fatu, you they give birth to you, then after that your mom has twins,
Mhm.
they had already given you a name, right? But
yes.
of
Okay.
course you don't know if you're going to have twins. But then you have twins, so they might have to rename you to show that you come before twins.
Interesting. Wow.
Then the person who comes immediately after the twins also has
Mhm.
a special name.
Special name.
Yeah, so for twins they have names, but for triplets and quadruplets and all those people, I those ones they I have not heard of special traditional names. But these days, I think things might be changing a bit.
Mm.
Personally, if I have twins, I'm not going to give them the traditional names. I'll think of nice, cute names to give them. Yeah.
Oh. For
Mm.
us, for us, we have names also for twins. It's also a little bit like being a Muslim. For example, if you have two twins, usually when you see an Awa and an Adam, it's because they are
Twin.
twins.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay,
I think
okay.
Ah,
it's
same as Sudan.
Yes.
Senegal
yeah,
It's
also.
twin.
I think it's Adam and Eve, something like that. It's almost a
Yes.
translation of in Islam. So if whenever you see Adam and Hawa, they are twins, and also there is also Asanatu and Usainatu. All of these are also twins.
Twins.
Yeah, and I think I think there are also names like if you see that, just know that they twins.
I
They are
see.
Yeah.
First, the
If,
variation.
also, my
Go
name
on.
will be for a twin, like, because again, two mountains, yes? So you will have Safa and
twins.
Marwa, twins,
Oh, okay.
immediately.
Okay,
You
okay. That's
don't
interesting.
even, anything in Islamic culture that has two versions,
Mhm.
you use it for twins.
It's
It's,
true.
yeah,
Okay, that's interesting.
yeah.
Ah, in most cases, in most languages, the names given simply mean the older one and the younger one.
And
Like
Okay.
Baridie Nakato, Nyamukuru Nyamuto, Nyangoma Nyakato, Waswa
Difficult
Kato.
one.
So it's all about the older one and the younger one,
Yeah,
the
go on.
older one and the younger one. Yeah.
I see.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What about Japanese culture, Shiho? Like, do you have something?
No, definitely no.
It's just
Our parents decide
what
what
name
they
and they give.
no traditions
Oh,
such as that.
I see.
It's
Yeah.
very interesting.
But I think like naming process is changing nowadays, especially in our generation. People just use a name that they like.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sometimes they make up the whole name to
yes.
something that they feel sounds nice, and then they name the kid. I mean, it all depends on people like what they like. For me, I like a little bit of tradition. I'll have my Muslim name. I'll have someone I name it after. So I don't
Uh-huh.
think I will change. I hopefully my partner would also will also think the same way I think. So yeah. But yeah, I think I do believe things are changing now, and also with intermarriages, you don't know what to name the kid, where to fall back, or and stuff. So All of these are things that factors that add into to that. So yeah.
Mm. Yeah,
I
I
think I have a
saw. Oh, sorry. No,
go on.
continue, please. No, no. You go
Well,
ahead.
I have a problem with some of the new names. Well, I know I people have names they want to give their kids, but you
Mm.
find someone gives a child a name and people cannot pronounce the name.
Yes.
And I'm thinking this is
Mm.
something we need to call this person day in, day out. Could you
Mm.
please be kinder to how our tongues are going to roll up in our mouths?
Yeah, that's also we have it now. People are naming their children, especially ladies, for girls, uh, after characters in dramas,
Mm.
and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah, it's not your culture because Turkish drama is really Turkish,
True.
and they haven't started naming their children Korean names yet,
Mm.
but
Oh my
yes,
God.
yes, because Korean drama is really popular now in Sudan, right?
Mhm.
But before Korean drama, it was Turkish, and before it was Syrian. But at least when it was Syrian drama or Egyptian drama, at least they also names Islamic names. So
Yeah.
it's not bizarre. But
Mm.
Turkish
Yeah.
completely different language, completely different names, and you do not even know the meaning of that name.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So naming your child, and then when I ask you about the name and you can't pronounce it,
Mm.
and I'm supposed to call your child that name that you cannot pronounce.
We have a problem. We
And
have a problem.
yes, yes. So maybe we should introduce the middle name system,
Somewhere. Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yes, because at least you have right.
Mm-hmm.
You can have it both. You have the first name, which is traditional and Islamic or Christian or whatever you want to call them, or
Mhm.
African, and then you have the hip name,
Mhm.
Mm.
and then your child can choose. So
But personally, I'm against us adopting names that do not represent who we are as a people. Because
Mm.
you're not going to find a Japanese Chiho is not going to have a child and call her Murungi.
yeah,
You're not
true.
going to find that situation. But for you, you'll be like,
But who
you know,
knows? Maybe Chiho likes the name Murungi and say, okay, I want to name my child Murungi.
At least
yes,
we need the meaning.
yes,
Okay,
exactly.
Murungi. Mm.
There might be that possibility, but honestly, the odds are that will not happen. So,
Mm.
why, as Africans, are we adopting names whose meanings we do not know? Whose, like, it's not who we are. I think in that way, we're just killing our tradition and
True.
sort of like running away from who we are. I
Mm.
think in another article, this lady was talking about she refuses to change her name
Mm.
or get a nickname because people say, your name is difficult to pronounce. Do you have a nickname? She's like, no, I have been learning Russian names. I have been learning Scottish names. I have been learning all kinds of names. You guys must learn my name too.
My
And I
name. Mm.
support that.
Mm.
Personally, as I already told you, when you go back to UG, probably you'll have to ask me by a different name. But when I
Mm.
came to Japan, I thought to myself, I am going to learn names that are going to twist my tongue, names whereby I have to probably, try to remember, practice in my head so that so that I don't insult someone. So
Mhm.
I told myself, no, these people have to learn my traditional name. So the first time I introduced myself, I'm like, my name is Murundi. They're like, don't you have a nickname? I was like, nope, that is my name. That is the name you guys have to call me. And it has caught on. No one is saying, it is difficult to pronounce. They have made the effort to learn
Mm.
it and to
Mhm.
pronounce it. So Africans, I think we shouldn't be scared or worried about our names. That is who they are. That is who we are, and we should own them. If
Yeah.
we can learn Russian names, I don't even know. Yeah, there are always many K's and V's, but we make an effort to learn them. The rest of the world should make an effort of learning our names, and that is why moving forward, I don't go by Elizabeth. And I'm thinking if I get married because of passport passport lettering, I might
Mm.
throw it out and adopt my marital name, right?
Mm.
That is my thought process at the moment when it comes to this
Wait,
particular
wait.
thing.
So you guys are thinking of taking your marital name, like after you get married, like? Because I'm
No,
not.
we don't do that in my culture.
I'm gonna be Williams forever. Like, okay, Mrs. Williams, it's okay.
Uh,
Like, what are your opinions, Murong? Because Murong, I think she was to take marital name. So, girl,
I think it really falls down to the individual, but
okay,
in UG, most women take on their marital names. Actually, some women completely drop one of their names and
yeah,
Mm.
take on their marital name, like completely,
yes,
but
yes,
others just add it on.
add it on. Mm.
It's very difficult for someone to just completely change. But
Mm.
personally, I think on an individual basis,
Mm.
I think up to now, people know me by my three names,
mm,
so I'm still in the process of thinking. Perhaps for the official documents, like um, maybe I'll remain with the three names and add the marital name or not. But it's
Mm.
important to to show to show a united front as a couple.
I see.
Yes, I know some women will not want to take on their husband's name, and I
No.
think that's okay.
Mhm.
That is okay, because you find someone who has worked so hard. I mean, you find Fatu is successful, and we know her as Fatu Williams. Now she's not going to be called, for example, Fatu Williams. I don't know, D, because now we'll be like Fatu Williams D. Who is that? you
Mm.
know, but we've known Fatu as Fatu Williams.
Mm.
So personally, I'm still in the process of thinking what I will do. But I think my at this point I'll probably hyphen it Muevesa and the marital name so that it
mm,
becomes one
This
big,
is
Mm.
yeah,
name.
because I don't want to
What?
lose my names. Because I worked so hard to be this
Mm.
person. I'm not going to drop one or something. But we don't. I don't know. I'm still thinking. But as I say, because of passport processing, because
Mm.
sometimes they'll tell you, these are too many letters. They don't fit on the passport application. You might have to drop a few names. Then there, I'll have to think a little bit more. Yeah.
mm.
Mm. Is it the same as international marriage and in national marriage with same nationality?
Yes, yes, yes. In Uganda,
Mm.
the lady decides, or they decide as a couple.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, in our case, if you're marrying a Sudanese person, whether a girl or a boy,
Mhm.
you do not take their name. It's not a part of the culture. You keep your name. They have their names. The children will have their father's name, but you
Mm.
have your own name. But if you're marrying a non-Sudanese person,
Uh-huh.
just for the sake of the paperwork, because it depends on the country that you're marrying into. For
Mm.
example, if you're marrying a Japanese, because I do know some of like if you have the same name, it will make your life much easier in the
Mm.
paperwork department, the processing and everything. Because you are one
Right.
family, you have the same name, everything will go much easier and smoother.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So in that case, I think it would be just to save you the hustle, just
Yeah,
to add the name to your name, not
Mm.
I
dropping
agree.
your name
I agree.
completely.
Yeah.
But yeah, it depends. It depends on the person you're marrying and the culture you're marrying into. But
I
if
have
Mm.
a feeling I have a feeling if you don't perhaps take on the name, especially with the paperwork, if you're in other parts of the world, you'll have
yes,
to walk around with your marriage certificate. So
yes,
at
yes,
immigration, so at immigration, you constantly have to show we are
yes.
together. Do you see this?
That actually happens in Sudan because since we don't adopt the names, you have
Mhm.
completely different names. And
Yeah,
if you married somebody who looks completely different than you, at least if you married another African person, you look similar.
yeah,
So he
Mm.
can pass as Sudanese, right? People are not going to second out you. But if you marry an European person
Yeah. You have to
and
walk
you
around with.
go, my friend married a German white person, and she went to book a flat or something. They were visiting Sudan. They don't live there, so she wants to have like a flat just to live in for a few minutes. And before, I don't know if they changed the law now, but before, if you're going to have to live together, you as partners in an apartment, you need to show your marriage certificate.
Uh,
But normally, if you're married to a Sudanese man, you will just be like, "This is my husband," and everybody will believe you, right?
mm.
So she found herself in a position that she's trying to convince the landlord that this white man is my husband, and he refused to believe her. He was like, "No, the
Oh.
certificate," and she was like, "I swear to God, he's my husband." No, like, no. How am I supposed to know?
Damn.
How am I supposed to know? Prove it. So
Marriage certificate.
yeah, yeah, that can happen.
I mean, I
Chill,
don't
what
mind.
about
I don't mind the hassle of bringing my marriage certificate everywhere, but I'm not going to take someone's name. Yeah.
In
Chiho,
Japan,
what is it like in Japan?
in Japan, when we got married, if I got married with Japanese man,
Mm-hmm.
most of lady have to change family name because
Mm.
we will change the register of family. How can I say family connection?
Family
So
tree? Uh-huh.
yeah, so we if I my name my family name is Maeda, and
Yeah.
if I get married with Mr. Yamamoto, I will become a Yamamoto.
I see.
And
I see.
I have to, if I die, I will go to the grave of family of Yamamoto.
Motto. I
Uh,
see.
Mm. But recently there was the discussion
mm,
if we can select
Mm-hmm.
lady's family name
mm-hmm.
or man's family name, but government denied. Maybe we have no answer yet
I think people
because
should be given
it's
a
very
choice, huh?
tough
Yes.
paper thing. Only women has paperwork after getting married.
Right?
You
Right?
have to change
Yeah.
your family name, and it's very complicated.
They should be given a choice whether you want to change or not.
Yeah,
Yes,
if
that's
there is
true.
choice, better.
Yeah, because maybe
Achoo.
he wants to take your name. Maybe he, right? Some men
Yeah,
do take. It
in my
happens.
grandparents' case,
Yeah,
yes.
it happens. Some
In
men
my
do
grandparents,
take your name.
my
Achoo.
grandma, my grandma,
Tell us.
yeah, my grandma is Maida, and my grandpa came to my grandma's family, so my grandpa changed family name. It happened.
Oh,
It
So
Mm.
just tell
okay.
us a bit about that because I've heard of it and it has to do with something about a family not having sons.
um,
How, what is the brief history about that in Japan?
Mm.
Chiho.
Uh, depend on, but the parents can choose, and if there is no son, how can I say the family connection stop.
Stops.
Mm. And
Mm.
any family afraid of that, especially grandparents
Yes, yes, yes.
generation.
We had a professor who told us that uh, his his father was forced to change his name because he was marrying into a family where there were no sons. So,
Mm.
as
Mm.
Chiho said, they wanted to continue this family's bloodline, so had to change his name
Mm.
to this family. All
Yes.
his
Mm.
brothers were called his brothers and sisters were called something different, but he changed it. And he says that his father died a very unhappy man
Oh,
because
yeah.
he was forced to change his name and
Mm.
sort of took on responsibility that he had not kind of signed up for. Like the pressure
I
was
see.
too much to continue with a family bloodline
Mm.
that biologically didn't belong to him.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah, because your name
Yeah.
is a gift from your family, from your
Mm.
parents. So
Yeah.
you want to be associated with them.
Mm.
Mm.
I,
Are there any special ceremonies that you have
for
for naming
naming.
names,
Oh
for naming
yes.
kids?
Oh
Maybe,
yes.
maybe in Africa. Japan, no.
No.
No, it's always the seventh on the seventh day after birth, and you throw a feast, and you invite both sides of the family, and then the child will be in his cradle and looking glorious as ever, and everybody will come and kissing the child. What did you name the child? And we're like, we named it this, and we were like, oh, oh, that's amazing. Oh, with God grace, he will be this person. With
That.
God willing, he will be this person. And then
Mm.
officially, they will leave. They put money under the cradle, and
Mm.
it's called the milk money.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
Mm.
Milk and Pampers.
Yeah, no, it's it's basically to help the parents with their expenses, and they will put them at the cradle, and your mom will take that money, and of course, you're not going to see a penny.
Wow.
So if you're a girl, some people will, especially like your aunties, they will bring some sort of gold jewelry
Mm.
for you,
Nice.
for the girls. The boys don't receive anything, just money.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's a Muslim thing, the 7 days, because back home is also the same thing. We don't name the child until the seventh day
Hmm.
after the child is born, and then we have a big feast. We have to slaughter a ram for the child. Also, during the naming ceremony, you have like a religious leader that comes and shave the child's hair. Some of the child's hair needs to be shaved, and
Why? Why?
Yeah, it's I think it's sunnah. It's in
yes,
some of
it
the
is. It is.
yeah,
It is religious thing.
yeah, it's
Uh,
religious.
we feel the first hair needs to be taken out
Yes.
from, yes, the first set of hair that the child was born with needs to be taken out. So they shave the hair all bald. The child is all bald, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah, that's what we do, and yeah, that's, I think it's traditional, also religious thing. Um, and then during that time, also with religious, you have to say something in the child's ears and stuff. And we
Oh.
Mm.
give it, yeah, we do that. And you have to, those that come, they can give
Mm-hmm.
money or
Mm-hmm.
gifts. It's up to you, just to help the child's mom and stuff. So,
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
does the person who says, because for us, who the person who says the calling for prayer actually is your
mhm.
father, not a
Religious
minister,
leader.
and yeah, it
Oh.
has to be your father. Then
Mm,
he will say the
Mm.
like in your ears and like that.
Mm.
But we don't have a religious minister, a leader who comes to the
comes in.
name. It's basically your elders and your parents. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah, for us, like sometimes it's the religious leader, sometimes it's the father that's there, but someone like that's a little bit
Mm.
religious should say some things in the
Mm-hmm.
teaching and stuff.
I see.
Yeah.
In UG, again, as I said before, there's many different tribes, so I'm not familiar with. I don't know if every tribe has a naming ceremony, and I also feel like because of one, intermarriages, and two, people moving out from the villages, some of these things have started to die out. Eh?
Mm.
But originally, there was a feast, you know, where I
Mm,
come from, there was a feast, and everyone would be called, and it would give the child a name and those things. But now it's not the case. Most times you just call, so we have a child. Oh, we're going to have children. So I don't know, prepare names and tell us which one you want, or these are the names we've decided. Can you, sort of pick out one? So now I don't hear so much about naming ceremonies.
Mm.
okay.
Yeah, I've never attended one. If ever there was one, I don't know. But of course, people do. Of course, people do the baby showers. I know those are different from naming ceremonies, but I kind of feel like from there, perhaps that's some bit of celebration. But I've not heard of any serious naming ceremonies. Though some tribes still have um, traditional ceremonies they do for twins.
Mm.
with twins and you know, 2, 3, 4 children. Those ones, some tribes still carry them out like mandatorily.
Mm.
Other than that, I've not heard of anything else. I mean, you guys, because even in the hospital, you have to write a name for the child. As soon as a kid is born, they ask you, so what name is it? They write it, and sometimes you have to make the birth certificate from there, or you can make it later.
Mm.
So,
Mm.
it's not such a big deal in Uganda.
Yeah, no, it's
Mm.
we're still holding tight to those traditions.
It's
So
a good thing, though.
yeah, so it's
Yeah.
a bit special, especially if it's a boy. It's extremely
I
special.
I enjoyed firstborn babies party in Senegal. There is not a lot of a lot of sheep or goat, especially if firstborn is boy.
Mhm. Mhm.
They organize big party, even their financial situation is somehow problem. But
Yeah, yeah, it's true. It's true. Even if they
mm,
have financial problem, they
Yeah.
throw a big feast. Yeah, for
Yes,
that.
yes,
you will borrow
I,
money for it.
mm,
Have
Exactly.
to. You have to. It's serious.
dancing, eating, doing traditional ceremonies, everything.
Yeah.
There's always money. There's
It's
always
a
Mm,
money.
party. You have
Yes.
to. 'Cause, you can't just your child need to be celebrated.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially boys. So it's a must.
So after some time, when I walk uh, around here, or when I go downtown, or when I read some things, there's some brands from Japan that back when I was still in UG, they didn't mean much to me. Like the names didn't mean anything. But now, when I look at the kanjis, or I'm like, oh, that's the meaning of this word. So I'd
so,
like us to, like, I'm going to mention some names and let us try to guess what that means. And Chiho perhaps will be the one to correct us, right? So
Okay.
me, Fatu, and Mara, I'm going to read our names and we're going to try and predict what that word means.
kanji.
Okay.
let's
Testing
just
our kanji knowledge.
let's just go ahead and try and see, okay?
Okay.
So I'll start with Nissan.
Mm.
Nissan.
Nissan.
Oh, that's a difficult one.
You can Google the kanji and see if you can have an
All right,
idea
because I
from
don't
it.
know the kanji. I've always seen it like in the katakana form or hiragana form.
Mm. So I'll give you a few seconds and then
I think like the ni stands for like from Japan, the ni of Nihon. Is it that one?
Yes.
Yes, the first kanji is yes, ni.
it's
It's
Okay.
Nissan.
Niche. Mm,
Nissan.
mm.
nis.
I honestly don't know. I'm just. Mhm.
I
This was the
don't
first time the first time the meaning hit me. I was like, enlightenment.
I don't know the kanji. I'm sorry.
The sun is for production.
I saw this. Oh,
So
okay.
just
Niche.
nah.
Like
Production.
this. Nissan niche. You
Yeah,
can see the chat.
Yeah, yes, yes, we can see it. Actually, Cheho, please do that for us.
yeah.
When I
Nissan.
mentioned, yes, 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 yes.
Oh,
Nissan.
see,
So I don't know.
I don't know the meaning of the
So when I asked,
niche is Japan.
yes.
San
when I asked,
maybe
they were
industry.
like, it means like made in Japan. Nissan, made in
Made
Japan.
in
It's like,
Japan.
ooh, okay.
I always thought it was actually named after the person who established the company,
Suzuki, like
like Suzuki or Toyota.
yeah.
Right? So I always
Yes,
thought like it was an individual name and he
yes.
started the company and it's
Mhm.
just, but
But
oh.
but also like the individual names, they have a bit of meaning to them, right?
Hmm.
Mm.
So let's try the next one, Hitachi. Chiho can write for us both. I don't know if
Hitachi.
it's both the kanjis or one kanji. I don't know.
I
Hitachi.
don't know their kanji. Always they always they write Hitachi in alphabets. I
Yes,
don't
yes,
think
yes,
they
Yes.
yes,
have
yes,
English
yes.
and Chinese
Hitachi.
Japanese name. Let me check.
Okay,
Maybe no kanji.
probably.
Hey, it's it.
I got
Okay.
it. Yes. Hitachi. Ni
Yes.
Hey. Oh, okay.
yes,
So then same kanji for
yes,
hey, ni,
maybe Japanese.
ichi.
Hitachi, I don't know what does it mean. But stand. Normally.
So
Hitachi.
Japan stand Japan. Or
Maybe stand.
I was told like this one was
Yeah.
to make like this product is supposed to make Japan like stand out on the world map.
oh,
You
Yeah.
okay.
you know more than me.
I would never thought that. Like I'm never going to look at Hitachi and be like,
Right?
yeah, because
Right?
he.
Yes.
Yeah, each Chinese literature has meaning.
Mm-hmm.
But
The next one is Santori.
Sana.
Santori. Is that
Santori.
kanji? Santori.
I
Sorry,
don't
is
know the
it
kan.
from the bird country?
Yes. Yes.
Santori. It's
Um,
always katakana. Eh?
Yeah. The guys who produce alcohol and all these related
Mhm.
things.
what?
Yeah, I
Three
can
birds?
imagine. The founder name,
Mm-hmm.
founder family name is Tori, and Tori means
Oh,
bird.
yes.
Hmm.
And Sana?
So maybe they fix sun,
Oh,
Taiyo, and the bird,
oh,
Tori,
sorry.
Santori.
Ah,
Maybe.
So
Santori.
when I
Yeah.
asked, I was told that they wanted to go global, like
Mhm.
wanted to be an international company. So they wouldn't call themselves like Tori Industry. So, Tori San. So they just switched and made it Suntory. Because when you hear
Santori.
Suntory, it means it sounds more westernized than Japanized.
Mm.
So
Yes.
they wanted it to be like easily acceptable out there. Suntory, Suntory,
Oh,
Mm.
Suntory. Yeah, yeah. When I asked, so I don't know how many theories are out there.
yeah, but it's actually cool.
Yeah,
It's
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 very
playing,
interesting.
yeah, playing with
Mm,
the words, and
yeah.
it's
Uh,
nice actually.
Now maybe my generation likes to use English word as a company name and
Mm,
also as name, people name
Mm,
Mhm.
to make easy communication between Japanese and
mm,
foreigner.
yes.
For example, in case of my name is Chiho, and
Mm,
I know in France, there is no pronunciation of H.
mm,
And in Africa also, mostly people cannot pronounce Chiho.
mm.
People say Shiho, Shio, or Chico. They
Yeah,
cannot communicate. So my name is totally not global. So
yeah,
Maybe that's the beauty.
yeah.
yeah. You having a unique name is actually an
Yeah.
advantage.
But if I
So
get married, maybe I will choose some name which is easily pronounced for foreigner too.
I see.
Mm.
All
yeah,
right. The next company is Rakuten.
Rakuten, Raku from
Mm-hmm.
Ah,
easy,
yes.
and
Heaven.
10, like 10, 10.
Heaven.
Yeah,
Heaven.
yeah,
Yes,
10.
yes,
Oh yeah.
yes.
Oh, so basically,
Happy heaven, maybe.
yeah, or
Mhm.
easily accessible,
Mm.
something like that.
Relaxation heaven.
Yeah.
You know? Something
After
like that.
buying their stuff, maybe we can go to happy heaven.
It's a better name than Amazon. It-
Amazon is messed up. There are so
yeah,
many.
Amazon is
It's confusing.
confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next one I have is Docomo.
Oh, Toko everywhere. Tokomo. Right?
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Everywhere.
everywhere.
I'm getting good at this.
No kanji. No kanji.
Yeah, there's no kanji. Ton is just directly translated like everywhere. You can go
Everywhere.
everywhere. Mm.
どこでも。
Yes,
Tokodemo.
yes.
Tokodemo.
This next word, Nintendo.
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 Nintendo is like this.
Yes.
Nintendo meaning.
Nintendo.
10 is heaven, right?
Yeah,
Same
Yes.
as
heaven.
Rakuten.
So,
Do is kind
Oh,
of place.
yes.
mm.
What does the nin mean?
Nin.
Is that responsibility?
Mm,
Sekinin no nin?
somehow, yes, sekinin, yes. Or tannin or teacher.
Ah,
Responsibility for a video game company does
Oh,
not
maybe,
click.
maybe.
responsibility for providing people heaven.
Mm,
I don't know. This one, this one I really did look like find a lot about it, but yeah, I guess I hope Chuho would tell us what Nintendo
I
means.
mean, let me check.
Is it nin from which is kind of a bit stretch, like the nin, like ninja and the
Ah,
ninjutsu,
supposed to. Maybe,
right? From
they,
the
yeah, they put kanji
Ah,
on pronunciation. That happened, yes.
yes, so
ah,
That happened. Maybe ninja. Because Nintendo
mm,
company is based on Kyoto. So they
okay,
mm,
have history. Such a history.
okay.
yeah. And if it's related to ninja, I think it makes more sense since it's like video
Mm,
games and
that's true. That's true.
yeah, they don't have a ninja game though.
Maybe they will create. You can advise them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so
I guess we'll leave that one to the viewers and the listeners. So
mm,
and that is all we had for today. Ladies, any last words you'd like to share?
um,
I mean, like my Japanese was not so good. That's why I couldn't be part of the game with regards to the
Sorry.
characters. So it's okay. But I think for the last words, I would like to know from you guys how important is a name, like making the name a little bit easier to pronounce and nicer to like to receive, like how important it is. For example, for me, it's quite important. Like you leaving your child in the world out there, it's good to give him or her a name that will be easily pronounceable. It's okay. Tradition is good to add tradition to it, but like it's something that holds a lot. Like that's something that he or she will be called every single day. So giving your child a name like Karamba something like that makes it very difficult for someone to pronounce. You giving the child a hard time, I believe, in life. So choosing a name might be important. Like choosing a simple name that means something to you that has meaning is also important. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think that's something that I will put into account. How about you guys for last words? For you,
Personally,
Murungi,
for me, I'm
understand.
all about
You said you would like to hold the tradition, and people
yes,
should learn to pronounce that. So
and
yeah, I
and
think
that is
it's
and that is my final stand.
finance
That
then.
is my
Okay,
final stand.
okay,
Learn
yeah,
to pronounce our African names. So when
okay,
I give my kids names, I'm not going to think about, oh, is this easy for people? Oh, is this internationally acceptable? No, I'm going to give them names that have good meanings and perhaps people I would like them to grow into. I won't care really
okay,
about the pronunciation.
okay.
yeah, for me, the pronunciation is people should put some effort into it because if I learn to pronounce your name correctly, you should also do the same for me. But
Mm,
what I'm going to focus on is the meaning of the name
mm,
because your child didn't choose that name; you chose that name for
Mm,
them. So giving your child a ridiculous name and scarring
Window.
them
that's
exactly and
nice.
scarring them for life, and
Yes.
even if they don't understand it fully, it's
Mm,
people are making fun of them. Your
yes.
name is the first thing the person learn about you. So it should mean something. So
Mm.
at least put some effort into it. Make your child proud. Don't,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
don't just go choosing random names and
Mm.
just calling your children whatever you want to call them. No. So yeah, I think that's more important. Tradition is also important, but for me, it's the meaning, uh,
Mm.
Okay.
not and not to impress my future children.
I agree. I agree with all of your opinion. The meaning is very important, and maybe I will do same as my parents.
Mm,
Like they gave me my name with a lot of meaning, and that is
mm,
their hope. We can maybe I don't have to stick on that meaning, but at
mm.
least I would like my children have some proud of their name.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
I agree. I agree. I love my name. My name is simple, and I think it's easy to pronounce for everyone. It's just Fa and number two, and it's that. And I would like my child to also feel the same. So, yeah, definitely. I will not call my child Mapultun sing something like that. Nah, I'm not. So, yeah.
Mm.
But it's good to have you guys here. We
Yeah.
enjoyed the talk, and it was a very nice conversation. Hopefully, we'll invite you some other time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you
Right.
for having us.
To
Thank
all our
you.
Yeah.
listeners, to all our listeners and everyone who's watching, remember to subscribe, follow, like, share, and comment. Until next time, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.